Hello and happy Friday, everybody. My name is Matt with Beacon Software, and in today's Feature Friday, we are talking about the October update. This was pushed out at the time of this recording about a week ago, so if you want to learn about all the new features that we just introduced or some of the bug fixes that we put in place, stay tuned. All right, so in today's Feature Friday, like I said, we're going to cover the October update. We're going to go through the changelog together. I'm going to show you where these features are in the software, how to turn them on, and then any feedback that you want to leave, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below, or always email our support team at support@beaconsoftco.com. Right? So let's go ahead and jump straight in. All right, so I'm in Dispatch Anywhere right now. So what we're going to do, normally when you get the update, you're going to go ahead and see the pop-up right away. If you clicked off on that or you want to go ahead and revisit that later, up here in the corner where your name is, go ahead and click on that, and then this will allow you to get the changelog. It's going to load up a website. I've already loaded it up, so let's go ahead and take a look at it together. All right. So here's the October update, the release notes here. So let's go through these one by one. Let's show you where these features are, and hopefully these are going to be a benefit to your company. So we'll start with the biggest one. The feature for this October update is send tow ticket signature requests via text message or email from the driver app. Allow customers to review and sign tow tickets on their own devices without any contact. So this is a great way to have that contactless feature with your customers. You can still get their signature without having to actually hand, or the drivers having to hand their device over to the customer. Kind of hand in hand with that, TowStatus job updates via text message to end customers is now available to everyone at no additional charge. There's a link to show you more, and I'm going to show you how to set that up today. So let's start with the tow ticket signature request and show you how that works. So we do have a help article on it. Let's go ahead and bring this up. This is how this works with the driver app. All right. So step one is getting the tow ticket signature. All right. So the driver is on their device, click the button for the tow ticket, and they can either capture on their device or send a signature request. Right. Step two, they need to complete some information. They need to get the customer's name, their email address if they're sending an email, or their name and contact number if they're going to go ahead and text this out to them. The customer will receive a link via text or email, depending on what your driver sent, and then they can review the information, and at the bottom there's an option for them to sign on their own device, hit submit, and then all that information is going to come back into your system. So it's a great way to be able to capture a customer signature without having the driver constantly having to have their phone touched by a customer. So that is available as of right now. Along with this, though, with the text messaging, it is something you might need to turn on in your database. So I'm going to show you how to turn that on. I have my settings pulled up right here. All right. So if you go into your division settings here, now we only have one location. If you have multiple locations, you'll have to do this on each location that you have. But I'll hit green light towing here. Under the SMS or texting tab, we need to make sure that beacon is selected here. As long as this is turned on, your drivers will have the option to send out that ticket. Hand in hand with that is the status messages that I referred to as well. What that is under accounts. And I'll pick this AAA NIC account. It doesn't matter, any account. Over here in the bottom corner, let's see if I can get rid of my webcam for a second. You'll have some of these options: send notifications to contact phone, send notifications to owner email, send notification to owner phone, which is the texting, and then you can send messages on assigned, en route, and arrived. Basically what that means, when the call is assigned to your driver, a message, email, or text, depending on what you set up, will go out to your customer, and they will basically get a link that allows them to verify either the address you have on your call, or they can update to their GPS location. Another message can go out on en route. Basically what that means, when the driver clicks en route, the customer is going to get another link that shows where they're at, where the driver's at, possibly a picture of the driver if you've already added that, and then kind of keep track of where the drivers are at or how close the driver is to helping them. And then send notification on arrival. When the driver gets there, a text or email will go out to the customer letting them know that the driver is there. So if they're inside, they can come out, for example. All right, so bring me back here. All right, so those are the top 2 features here. Right. The next one on the list, Invoice Narrative Recovery Report. This was a highly requested feature from our customers. Right. Basically, this allows you to tell a story on your invoice. We also tried to add some automation to it to add timestamps and things like that. So I'll show you really quick how to get that working. So if I go into my Dispatch Anywhere here, right, I can click on any call. It doesn't matter. I'll just randomly pick this one here. Right? And we have a little new tag on this, but under the Customs tab here, you'll have this new box for Narrative Recovery Report. Now this will allow you to put as much as you want on here. Now just keep in mind, obviously the more that you have in this box, your invoice might span 2-3 pages. But we did have or add a narrative template recently. Right? What that does, this puts things like service request, on-scene time, delivery, etc. This is going to use the timestamps from your calls and automatically feed that information into your system. So it is a great way to kind of get a template to start with, but obviously you can always modify this if you need to. So we'll do a quick save on that. And then if I bring up an invoice, at the bottom here, we'll see my narrative or whatever we typed in as its own little box here at the bottom. Right? In addition to this, we have added page numbers to our invoices. A minor thing, but if you have to send out multiple pages to a customer, they'll at least know that they have page 1 of 2, page 1 of 3, etc. But that's also added at the bottom to all the invoice styles. Right? Go ahead and bring back up our change log here. The next thing on the list, weekly performance snapshot emails. Now we've been sending these out every Monday. If you're set up as a manager for the account, you should have already been receiving these. I'm going to show you what these look like. If you aren't receiving these or you do want to receive these, give us a call or send a ticket to support@beaconsoftco.com and we can get you added to the list. So what that looks like, right, this is one of our test database emails basically. So weekly performance snapshot. It's going to give me a breakdown of all my dispatches. So jobs I received this week, jobs I finished, potentially any canceled calls in my system. If I'm doing any motor club work, it is also going to show me offers I received. Out of those offers, how many were awarded, etc. It does keep track of our impound, how many new cars we've impounded, how many we've released, and how many were stored over the last 90 days. This may be helpful if you're not releasing cars properly in the system, or maybe you have too many cars in there. You can contact us. We may have a solution through our tolling product to allow you to automate that process to maybe get rid of some of these cars, or at least try to get title on some of these vehicles and get paid. We do a little top performers here at the bottom. How many, which one of your dispatchers did the most dispatches, the most finished calls in the system. So this week, Kyle is our all-star here. And then at the bottom, we have some additional videos and so forth. So this is last week's Feature Friday on security that we link here. Other helpful articles that are on here you may see from time to time. And then obviously at the bottom, you can update your email preferences or unsubscribe from the emails if you wanted to. But again, if you're not receiving this, let us know. We could get you on the list and make sure every Monday you are getting this weekly performance snapshot as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and minimize that guy here. All right, next thing on the list is favorite reports for easy access to most of your commonly used dispatch reports or accounting reports. That's pretty simple. So if we go back into Dispatch Anywhere here, close that call, go to our reports, you'll notice a new favorite section here on the left-hand side. Now we've just basically defaulted these reports for everybody. You can go into any one of your reports. Let's say I'd like to run the daily receipt report. All right. I click on the report and I can go ahead and favorite it right up here, and then this will drop into my favorite section. So instead of always maybe trying to hunt and peck for which reports you need, if there's normal reports you run on a regular basis, make it a favorite and then just group them up as your favorite reports. So pretty simple feature, but I think it makes finding reports that you use, the most common reports that you use, very easy to find. Right? We'll go back to our list here. Account tow ticket message. It's going to show you this in accounts. This is great for private property impound or anytime a customer needs to see an account message on a tow ticket. So this is basically a way to have a specific message on your tow tickets for certain accounts. I'm going to show you what that means. Along with that, the account tow ticket signature prompt. This is going to remind a driver that they need to get a signed tow ticket before they leave the incident location. So this is a setting you can configure and turn on and off for your accounts. So let's take a look at that. So if we go into accounts, it doesn't matter, I'll stay on this AAA NIC account that I have. Right over here on the right hand side, prompt driver for tow ticket signature. If this is turned on, if your driver hasn't gotten a signature at that incident location and they're trying to leave, they're going to get a pop-up on their device letting them know that a signature was required for that call. And then under the invoicing tab, so you have your normal spot for a normal invoice message for that customer if we want. There's also a spot for a tow ticket message. This message, if you put it here on the account level, will only appear for this account. So it gives you that flexibility for either private property, or maybe you just have a special message you want to show up on this account specifically, or these accounts specifically. There is a new spot to add that. And again, it's under the invoicing tab. So pretty cool little feature there. All right, invoice page numbers we talked about. Luxury tow service, you normally see this on NSD calls. They'll send over those luxury tows. When we automatically add services for you, if you have a luxury tow service, we'll automatically add that now to your call. Typically, they're paid a little bit higher, so we want to make sure your dispatchers are adding the right services to your calls there. And then AAA membership level support, when automatically adding Motor Club services. Again, kind of the same idea. If you're doing AAA calls and it comes through as a basic, plus, or premier customer, as long as you have those services in your price list, we're going to try to add those services on automatically for you. Again, eliminating some errors on the dispatch side, but also making sure that you're getting paid correctly, or if they're obviously a basic customer, making sure that you're collecting out of pocket from that customer as well. At the bottom here, we have a couple bug fixes now. Typically, our major releases are normally every other month. Bug fixes and minor updates are done usually once they're reported. So a lot of this stuff has been fixed usually a week or so after it's already been reported, but we put it on the release notes. So we'll kind of quickly go through that. Fixed issues with scheduled statements not going out to correct email addresses. There's a bug in the settings that it wasn't always going out correctly that has been updated. Fixed error dialog when taking payments with Square. There was a small error where some customers were unable to add a new Square account. Also, there were certain situations where the drivers weren't able to send out that payment or process that payment through the driver app, so that's been updated. Fixed bill to not using job template overrides when creating jobs on the mobile app. So what that means is your account, you can set up certain templates, certain required fields. It wasn't always updating it correctly when you're switching it on the mobile. That's been fixed. Disable auto fill for password fields in settings. Depending on where you were clicking, sometimes like Chrome, for example, would try to fill out password fields automatically on your behalf or fill out emails on your behalf when you really didn't want it to happen. That's been updated and fixed in the software. Fixed driver delete incorrectly showing beacon support as the username and history. If you accidentally deleted a driver from your system, in the call there's a history tab. It would show beacon support as the name instead of the driver's name, so that's been updated and fixed. And fixed rare issue sending pushes to mobile apps. Basically what that means, some of the mobile apps were not getting push messages or alerts for things like calls, updates, things like that. That's been also fixed and updated. Just make sure for all of these that each driver, and if you're using the DA mobile app, that you are updated to the latest version. So please check the Play Store or the Apple Store to make sure you're updated. Okay. So that will wrap up this video on the updates for October. If you have any feedback or any questions, let us know. Leave a comment in the section below. Give us a call. Send a ticket into support@beaconsoftco.com. Hope you learned something from this video. If you want to see any other Feature Friday videos or any additional features that you think are important that you want to see on some of these videos, leave a comment in the section and we'll look at exploring additional videos for things that you guys want to see. So again, I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a great weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye.